Hello, this is wmpyr. I've been really sick. I'm still sick right now, but I still wanted to make this video for you guys today. So anyway, I just saw a video about, what is it, like an Aikido master who entered MMA. And yeah, so anyway, I guess I want to talk about that, okay? Um, Really, my point is, I don't really think it matters if it's Aikido, Wing Chun, Sistema, or any style. It could be boxing, wrestling, whatever. It doesn't matter. If you go into a real fight or a self-defense situation, a combat situation, and your idea is you're going to be standing there and you're going to let the other person attack you. Makes sense because it's self-defense, right? So you're going to let the other guy make the first aggressive move towards you, and then you're going to go into a technique. So you're essentially going to counter their attack with some technique, right? If that's the way that you're thinking, and I think what 90%, 99%, almost everybody thinks that way, especially if you train in traditional martial arts. Almost everybody thinks that that's how it's going to go. And if that's what you're trying to do, I completely disagree with it because to me that is absolutely wrong. To me, that shows that you don't know what real fighting is. I know these are some harsh words, but it's because I also care very much about traditional martial arts. So the people who claim to represent the traditional martial arts and they go up against the MMA fighter or they try to use it in a real life self-defense situation, and if that is your tactic to, just stand there and hold your ground and say, do whatever it is you're going to do, and I'm going to defend against it. This is completely wrong, and no wonder it doesn't work. That's what I have to say. It's not a problem with the style, it's not a problem with the technique, but it's a problem with the practitioner's knowledge of real fighting. If you know what real fighting is, you wouldn't do that. Because you don't know what real fighting is, that's what you're doing. That mindset probably comes from demonstrations. You train in a traditional martial art and you see a demonstration where the student attacks the instructor in the dojo, and then the instructor, goes into some counters and goes into some technique, and everyone who watches that, and a lot of times including the instructor, they think that's the way it's going to be in a real life street situation or in a real life combat situation, and it's not. That's for training, that's for learning. So if you don't understand that, I feel like the people of back then understood that. They understood that this was for training, and that's why they also trained by doing choreography. So some styles had like dance type choreography that they did, and that was all for training. And I think it's very smart. I think it's a good thing, and I think it's necessary as long as you understand that that is for training. It's a great way to train your skill and learn about the techniques without getting hurt. Today's world, we have full contact sparring, and if you do too much full contact sparring, or if you're not wearing the right protective gear, you could really get hurt. And back then, that wasn't even an option. I mean, people, I think, were a lot more careful about themselves because the world they live in, I mean, a tiger could come and eat you or something. So a village could get raided. So they were a lot more, I think, protective about that kind of thing. But for today's society, people are living longer. There's a doctor in every corner. I mean, we just kind of like lost that sense. So in some ways, we don't take care of our bodies as good as the people back then, especially when it comes to martial arts, in my opinion. So, that's why MMA training, I think it's great because it'll show you how a real fight is, or very close to what a real fight would be. It at least when talking about human aggression and violence and force, it's very pure in that sense. The only problem is that, once again, the injuries that you're going to sustain, any sport, the injuries you're going to sustain pretty much are not worth it at all whatsoever. So there's that fine line of balance that you always have to think about there. You can't just be irresponsible and just go, I like MMA, to me it's the best, and you just train that, and good luck when you're 50. What's going to happen, So I think that's irresponsible. So I enjoy traditional martial arts training. I cherish it. But I also cherish my MMA training. Both have pros and cons. So, anyway, I'm going way off track here. So let's go back to the idea of standing in front of your opponent and saying, attack me with whatever. Headbutt, punch, kick, elbow, knee, whatever you want, attack me. And I'm going to defend against it and I'm going to counter it, right? With whatever technique. This is a total fail because if you understand and if you believe that reaction is slower than action, just from that alone, that statement alone, reaction is slower than action. The other guy is going to make the action. He's going to be the first guy to attack you, and you have to somehow react to that. You're playing the speed game. You're testing your reflexes. And in martial arts, true martial arts to me, it's about skill and strategy, not about how athletic you are, how good your reflexes are, and you're also saying you're going to play the guessing game. You're going to say, I'm going to be able to figure out what attack it is that you're going to do to me. And with my fast reflexes, I'm going to figure all that out. And then I'm going to choose correctly under pressure and under that limited time. Even though reaction is slower than action, I'm going to be able to choose the right corresponding technique to counter your attack. This is a very, very tall order. And no wonder this fails. This is extremely bad strategy. Once again, you're playing the speed game, you're playing the guessing game. If you are a real martial artist, in my opinion, and you understand fighting, then you don't want to play the speed game and you don't want to play the guessing game. I want to eliminate those as much as possible, So that's incredibly dumb. So to think that you train in whatever traditional martial arts style it is that you do, and you think you're going to fight that way is insane. That's to me, it's kind of an insult to traditional martial arts because I never felt that was the way it was meant to be used. Okay, so if you get a boxer, on the other hand, let's get a boxer, someone who's trained in boxing seriously, and I say to the guy, dude, I'm going to punch you, or I'm going to kick you, or I'm going to headbutt you, or I might go for a takedown, or whatever, right? Are you ready? The guy is probably, number one, his arms are going to come up. Number two, he's going to take a couple of steps back. Number three, he's going to start moving. Why? Because he doesn't play as athletic as boxers are. And if you don't think they're athletic, then your brain is warped. But as athletic as boxers, kickboxers, wrestlers, those guys are, they will not want to play the speed game or the guessing game if they're smart. If they understand fighting, that's not what they do. Okay, let's get a guy like Remy Bonyaski, who is K1, I could probably call him a legend by now. K1 legend. Okay, when the other guy comes rushing at him and starts throwing big old bombs like Badr Hari did, right? What did he do? Do you think he countered everything like in the Matrix? No, what he did was he just defended. He shielded up. That's what he did. He didn't go into some miraculous counter technique like the traditional martial arts guys are supposed to do. I don't know why you would put that kind of expectation to traditional martial arts. It's not fair. It's not fair to the style. It's not fair to the techniques. And the practitioners that think that they can do that, their mind's in the wrong spot. They don't know what real fighting is. So, like I said, even Remy Bonyaski, if you start attacking him like Badr Hari did, where you just start charging in on the guy and stuff, this is his response. He just covers up. He's not countering that with a knee. So not even those guys do that. Maybe you'll see someone like Anderson Silva start, just dodging stuff and doing Matrix type stuff, but that's because he is on another level. And that should let you know that's how difficult it is to do something like that. So for you to be in a street self-defense situation and you're going, hey, I'm going to Matrix you, because that's what you're saying that you're going to do. When you stand there, you're going to let the other guy attack you first, and you're supposed to go into some technique. That's what you're saying. You're going to do some Matrix move. I don't care if you're a grandmaster, 10th degree, awesome lineage, super skilled. That's not the way fighting is done. So anyway, that's it for now. I hope it helps. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.